There we go. Hello and good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Jim, you're not wrong. I forgot to change the title. I did the description, and apparently I forgot to do the thumbnail and the title, but I fixed it. This is the Anet ET4 live build. So yeah, I messed that one up. My bad. We'll give a couple minutes for everybody to kind of come in here. Go from there. But yeah, I'm kind of curious on how this is going to end up because the A8 Plus was such a good printer. I'm kind of hoping this is going to be also pretty decent. But there's an ET4 and apparently there's an ET4 Pro. I think I just got the ET4, not the Pro variant. Dustin, Derek, Francis. I love 3D printing, guinea pigs, and crazy weather. Hello. That's the weirdest name ever. But hey. All right. Yeah, so we got people streaming in here now. We're going to go and get started. So again, this is the Anet ET4. And this is sent to me directly by Anet. And I heard some people, they wanted a little bit closer. So I mounted my camera up here. Hopefully, they will show you guys a little more details since the Sony a6000 does not have the greatest amount of zoom. And where I normally mount it, you can't really zoom into stuff. So we're going to see how this turns out. There we go. It's the first time it's opened. Oh, thank you, Derek. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it, guys. And yes, happy day after Thanksgiving for everybody. All right, so what we got here? We've got belts. We've got some silky PLA filament. I can tone down this a little bit. Hang on a second here. It might be a little bit better there. Ryan, what's up, man? We got some bolts, a bit of tools, extra nozzle, a USB adapter, micro USB, and looks like the little bitty book here that comes with it. So this says it's the Anet ET4 Pro. And again, I guess we'll find out in a minute because the Pro, I believe, has ABL in it. So I guess we'll find out there. Yeah, this is the Pro because there is the ABL Pro. Man, that's awesome. I'm stoked for that. This will be one of the first kits I've ever gotten, or first 3D printers I've ever gotten, that has bed leveling. Literally automatic bed leveling. This will be the very first one. Nothing I've ever received before has had that except for the Mark III's, which I purchased. So, all right. Well, it looks like we've got our top gantry here. So here on the back, we can already see, oh yeah. So we've got this crazy connector here that they use to connect everything up. And you got the pinouts for everything, a little custom circuit board for that. It does have a filament runout sensor using the standard, very toothy tooth geared extruder there, all metal. Nice custom little wires there. That's pretty sweet. End stops. Single lead screw here, and it's using a solid coupler. So that's that'll be interesting to see how that ends up turning out. We can set this down to the side for now, and then we can. Oh, we got more in here. No, we don't. Okay, this little tray. Now we can take out the next level. Really thick foam, very well packed. Kind of what you'd expect nowadays. Really expect a printer to be crumbly packaged because most of them are not. They're usually packaged well. So we shouldn't be surprised. And here we go here. So, oh, come on. Come on. Okay. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Look at this giant opening in the bottom here, and the closure. This front is enclosed. That is very interesting. I've never seen that before. And then the last thing down in here, we've got the power cable and spool holder assembly. So we can put all this foam back in. That, and that. We can close this up and put it back under the table. Okay. So we've got the base here. Here's their little faux tack sticker. Probably going to put that onto the glass bed. Oh, we got more foam under here. Some pieces jammed underneath. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, this is definitely a different printer. Check out this, the way they have the Y belt in here. So this is the Y motor on the side, and it is stuck. What are we stuck on there? Oh. Something. What are we stuck on here? Oh, okay. This is probably in the manual, but you know, why not? Let me get this out real quick. So inside the V slot here, they put this to hold the bed. That's definitely loose. Now the bed fully moves. But yeah, so here you can see now the Y motor is right here, so you can tension it. It has some belt tensioning built into it. The belt runs beside the bed, so that's different. This very insanely solid cable. It's not braided. This is a legitimately made cable for this purpose, which is huge and super trained the wrong way. It keeps kind of go there. So, hey, 3 Obsession. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. So, all right, we've got our base here. Interesting. Need to tighten that up. All right, let's take a look at the instruction manual now. See how this goes. Oh, thank you, Aaron. I'll catch you later. So we've got our setup manual, our user manual, part list here. Little thank you printed thing there. This is probably some warranty deal for that. I don't even know if those are any good. But we're going to go here and start with the setup manual and see how this goes. So it should be pretty simple. There's not a lot of parts to this sucker. 4 steps. You guys can see that with the glare here. Let's see if I turn this down more. There we go. We've got 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's pretty doggone easy right there. So Keith says the ET4 board used to be in the ET4 and ET5 printers will soon be, used in the ET45 printers will be supported in Marlin as soon as well as the boards by Anet. Oh, very cool. So is this not running Marlin then? Is that what you're telling me, Keith? So, and it also gives us the breakout right here of that board, so we know where everything goes. So we're going to go ahead and get this figured out. So first thing, oh yeah, so they do have the decor seal right there to remove that. That's what holds the bed in place. That is actually, honestly, ingenious on doing that. That's an excellent way to keep the bed from moving. So, not too dark. Brandon with the with the donation as well. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it, buddy. Man, you guys have a lot come my way tonight. I really appreciate that, guys. That's really nice of you. I appreciate that. Yeah, let me get back to the build. I'm getting lost in the donations here. So we're going to go ahead and get the gantry put on here. 4 simple bolts to put this on. There's 6 pieces of hardware that come with this printer. You've got the 4 bolts to add the gantry. You've got the 2 T-nuts and M4s for the spool holder. That's it. So this assembly should take very few minutes. So we're going to go this direction. So we're going to tilt it up like this. Whoop. First, this one here. Ooh, first try on the right size wrench. Right size driver. So the ET4 Pro, let's read some specs off here on the side while I do this. So the build volume is 220 by 220 by 250. FDM, runs PLA, 1.75, weighs 7.6 kilos, 350 watt power supply. The total machine dimensions are 440 by 340 by 480. So it's already preset to AC 110. They've got a little sticker here on the side that lets me know that. So that's pretty cool. Let's see it now. A few more bolts over here. There. Second there. Okay, so no Marlin on it. I guess it's running what? Rep wrapper? They do also have a buoyancy of a warranty void sticker on here. Only one, so you can easily kind of like not, break through that. Great. The gantry there. Oh, let's see here. Where am I going? It's not an O version. I'm not sure what they're running. Anet sending me an ETX5X. Oh, very cool, Keith. That'd be good to know. Oh, maybe smoothie, yeah. So obviously it's a little touchscreen. We don't have any knobs or buttons anywhere there. So let's get where are my snips? It's nice they do not have the top of the lead screw contained, which is always a big worry with these machines. How am I going to be able to do this? Let's see now. What's the next step they want me to do here? They want me to put on the extruder assembly onto the X-rail. Again, here we have the extruder assembly here. So we've got a 4010 part cooling fan. Those are never great. It's using a 3D printed fan duct that is pointed, pretty much at the nozzle there. Not too bad. No silicone heat sock. They're running a, Creality style, what's called, hot end there. And we do have our probe right here. I'm pretty sure this should be a capacitive probe. because there's no metal for it to sense. So that's very cool. And then we have all of the headers right here. Everything is clearly labeled. I like that. Little Bowden tube, not too long. So we just have to slide this on right there. That's on. Here. There's the Bowden tube all the way in, and then we're going to connect all of that. I think I'm going to, ooh, that flies pretty easily, doesn't it? We'll go ahead and get the belt on. Oh, they come with a couple zip ties. And here we have the X belt. It's running the same as a lot of the other printers, the crimp style ends on them. So you kind of just put it in there and it gets locked in. But we're going with the down into it. Do need to run it through the extrusion. This is, I mean, this is compared to the Ender 3. The hot end assembly is identical to that of an Ender 3. This clip just sits in right here. Come on, get in there, sucker. Way. There is, okay, so that's also a little different. So normally on a lot of these 3D printers, right here, you're gonna have a way to tension your belt over here on the idler side. This idler is not. This is mounted solidly into this piece of aluminum. The motor, on the other hand, has all of the screws are slotted. So here you can see I can loosen the 4 of those and then pull the motor back and then tighten those up. It's pretty good right now. I'm probably gonna leave it the way it is. Both belts aren't bad. So I might leave them just the way they are, kind of see how that goes. I'm a little worried about the lead screw not being totally tight there. So here we go on the back. I can move you guys down here. Look at that action. Let's see here. So now we've got all that in. We'll tighten the eccentric nut on the extruder in a moment. We're going to get everything here plugged in. But it all is pretty well labeled. So we have, let's see, BL. So BL is going to go right here. Okay, we'll click there. And then we have a fan 1, which is going right here. Okay. Then we have our TMP, temp, which goes right beside the fan there. Can I get you in there? Like this. My fingers are not that small. Okay. And then we have our end, which is going up here. And we've got our 3 wires right here for the bed leveling sensor, which goes to these 3 right here. So the only one that's not connected is this S-Z but I'm guessing that's for later use, maybe? X and M. Oh, sensor for Z. No, that can't be sensor for Z, because that's all the cables there. So there's sensor for M, sensor for X. And this is the E motor. Maybe sensor Z is if it has a... I don't know. I have no idea there. But either way, yeah, cool. Just verifying the drawing here, make sure everything looks fine. Yeah, it tells you to end to, after we connect all that, wants me to go ahead and tighten up all of the eccentric nuts there. So again, I think we'll call that good. Let's go underneath real quick. Do this. Use some gaffer's tape. Some crummy gaffer's tape. Here we have the connector that goes up. So we're going to run this. It doesn't say, but I'm going to run it out this hole they have pre-made here. And it just fits right in. Everything else down here, very, very tightly made. You know, all the cables come out right here. We got our Y motor. This is the Y end stop here. It goes in. Bed cabling. Yeah, not too bad. Oh, they've got some great strain relief on here as well. That's kind of surprising. So here's the strain relief. This is, I guess 3D printed, but that's bolted on there, and that's really holding this cable nice and tight. Again, this is a really thick cable. This is pretty much a power cable, honestly, what they're using here. But it's a 6-wire. Yeah, it's a 6-wire power cable. So really, really thick gauge. Very nice. Very nice on that part. Okay, so where are we at now? We got to tighten up some eccentric nuts now. That's where we're at. We'll get out the wrench. So let me check chat here real quick. Vikings here. What's up, dude? Paul. Hey, hey. Dimple. Hello, hello. Thanksgiving was great. Thank you. Had a lot of food. Awesome. Anet has a Marlin download on their site for this printer. Oh, very cool. I don't think it's for an extra Z because it's down here. Oh, I do need to connect this right here, though. Tape and actually attach the Z motor cable to the Z motor. Again, they have conveniently put the hole right beside it. This is a doggone clean build. Really can't argue with it at all on that. Very clean build. So let's take the plastic off of the bed here. So they've got the glass held on with these wee little clips here. That's how they're holding the glass on. So I've actually never seen that before. Reading on this? It's just kind of blued. over here. There is a film on here. I want to get that off. Here it comes. There we go. Man, that was brutal. There we go. Now that's off. Move this away now. All right, let's tighten up these eccentric nuts. Where are you at here? Okay. Yeah, so they ship this on purpose loose to you. There. No wobbling that at all anymore. So for the Z though, we need to move this up. So now we can tighten down this. Not playing that at all. Okay, great. Then it tells me to tighten down these ones here. This one's loose here. Feels pretty good right there. Feels real good. I like that. All right. That feels good. Let's make sure the pulleys are tight because I've had recently some printers come in that the pulleys were not tight. So I kind of just want to double confirm that X and Y are good. Those are on there nice and tight. Not even moving on those. All right, cool. Pulleys are good to go. Nowhere's Mexico. Kriak, what's up? Bomb shot. Gets Ender 3 literally a week ago. Also me. Okay, let's get this one now. I wouldn't get this one yet. Give me a minute to kind of scope it out here for you guys. Again, I can kind of let you know how things are going. So give me some time here. All right. So this is what we have this done here. Again, we've got the build surface. We can go ahead and attach to the glass here, it looks like. Have a preferential way, it goes on that way. There's one thing that is actually not in the instructions here, is to apply this to the glass. That is interesting. But we're going to do it. Dual Z, yeah, Dual Z would be nice. Flex plate, I'd much rather have a flex plate over a Dual Z on a printer of this size. You know, being this small. Really not that big of a printer. Nice thing about doing this on glass is you can look at the other side and you can see if you have any air bubbles anywhere. And I don't have any. So you can really give it a good push down. See if you have any bubbles anywhere, which again I don't. So that's a good stick. Now we can go ahead and put these Where little clips back on. Kind of a pain. I mean, not huge hands, but hands ain't that small. Whoops. Come on. Okay. Move this one out a little bit. Okay. So it's interesting though that since they do have auto bed leveling, but does have all the springs on here. So one thing I like to do is we're just going to verify that they're all the same length. Dimple, this is just smaller than the Ender 3. This is a 220 by 220 by 250. The Ender 3 is 235 by 235 by 250. So just a little bit smaller. And verifying that since we're using ABL, to make sure that the springs are the same. Close to the same. Okay. Easy enough. Turn that off. Okay, so we have the USB connection here on the side. We've got a micro USB in here. Got their board in there with integrated drivers. Maybe, depending on how long the test print takes, maybe we'll open this up, take a look inside. I really don't want to do it yet. I kind of want to get this thing printing and get going with it. That's better. I'm going to kink that cable the other way there. And then we can remove this little warning thing. Get rid of that. I think we're good to go. I do wish it had a full-size SD card, but hey, not many companies are doing that. Oh, spool holder is the same tiny one that the A8 Plus is using, I think. Where's my A8 Plus? Right there. There it is. It is not the same, but this mount is different, but this spool holder is exactly the same. The actual roller part of it, I should say. It does have a much larger base Ender 3, yes. Much larger base. Well, the other thing, you were saying put it on the bed. I'd rather put it on the glass because I can just flip the glass over. It's much easier that way. Yeah, this is about the same size as the i3 Mega. The base is a little bigger than the i3 Mega, but build size-wise, it is the same because I believe the i3 Mega, I thought the i3 Mega was 200, not 220. It's been a while since I've used that machine. Not the back. All right. I'll bite with that. I guess, yeah, that keeps it in line with the filament path. Super boring. Okay. So we've got a printer built. Go ahead and take a look at this once we power it on here. Where's my power cable at? Here it is. I already have a cable pre-staged. See what happens. Okay, so we've got a menu thing here. Let's see, can I make this darker? There you go. So you can select your language there. Okay, cool. We'll start English. Settings. Let me look at the user mount here real quick. See if it says anything. Settings, and then we've got manual, the info of it, upgrade. Well, that's different. I guess that's for doing the thing. So if we go ahead and do this to home, you can see if this thing will home properly. Which I don't know why it's homing there. Okay. Well, we're going to definitely need to change that offset or move the probe. So there is a, right here, there is a Allen key or what's it called? Not a set screw right here that holds that probe there. So we definitely need to adjust that. Let's see, what was it kind of having for settings? There we go. Auto. Okay. Very pretty good. Thank you. I want the auto home here, or to auto level. Oh, it's just super slow when it does that again. All right, so I wonder if there's any info on the SD card on how to do this. If I do the offset, well, that does. Let's bring it up. Okay, so I wonder if we need to increase the sensitivity on this. I'm going to throw the SD card in my computer and see what we see here. All right.
Here's something I found on the web.
Computer.
According to
Computer? Never mind.
I see a burned area of an US T-87 near past left foot of canyon.
Computer. Shush. Okay, so English instructions. See, I'm looking here at the on the SD card. There's just an FAQ section here. But yeah, it's just I don't really get it. Why it's not doing more leveling and just doing that one spot there. Pretty good right there, I guess. Yeah, definitely capacitive, so I can tell that turns on. Seems to be the sweet spot there. PLA. Go with that. Here. I need to find a filament to use because I hate using the filament that comes with these machines because these are never really enough. And looking at the SD card here, you've got a dog for 2.5 hours and a pig 4 hours. The pig is a little piggy bank. Looks like. And the dog is, yeah, the normal little pup that they print. I guess I will use their filament. Why not? Why the heck not? Ryan. I don't know yet. I don't think it's going to happen for this one, man. This one's kind of like a nice, complete little package. All good to go. Yeah, well, I guess we'll go ahead and load up their smidge of filament here that they sent. It's got a filament runout sensor, so theoretically, if this keeps printing beyond the thing here, we should be fine. They change filament and a load feature. You can change the distance. Simple enough. Should raise the Z up a little bit, maybe? Can I do that? Settings, Z. There we go. We go back. Setting. Oh, no, we want to go back. We want to go to prepare. Change filament. Load some more filament again. Well, I guess let's push it through now at this point. Black PLA in there first, looks like. we go. All right, so if we go back, print, maybe the dog. Okay. So it's got a interesting little display on here. See that? So, but I guess that's our pause, our extrude, temperatures, some speeds there. It's not really the most intuitive screen that I've ever seen, at least. I mean, what do you guys think? I don't see how that is very much there. So, let's see if this thing will actually auto bed level here. Just levels at 1 point. It's really weird. I don't see a way for any type of baby stepping here either. Stop this. Stop. Yeah, stop the print. That's way too low. Because it only levels one point. Why isn't it doing like an auto bed leveling sequence? Prepare level auto. Start automatic leveling. Oh, gotta press it like 6 times and then it happens. A little too close on that one. So yes, start automatic leveling. See if it actually works this time. Where are you going? Jeez Louise, way high. Go to the front right corner, I guess. Wow, this is... I wonder if I can up the sensitivity on this. Oh, that's better, yeah. I just turned sensitivity up a little bit, and we're no longer have the nozzle crashing in. I could bring it a little bit lower, but I like where it's at right now. But at least it's doing it. So it looks like it's doing, what, a 5x5 grid? Yeah, Ryan, it was hitting the bed. It's not hitting the bed anymore. So I will say that there definitely is no real instruction. Oh yeah, I'll run it again once it's done. I'm gonna let it run, then do it again. There definitely is no clear instruction on how to adjust that capacitive sensor and how to do all this bed leveling. So they get a pretty low rating for they get a pretty low rating for actually how to set this thing up, because their setup manual is front and back pamphlet, just like the instructions were. And in the Q&As I'm reading through now, they're not really showing too much here. and then redo the offset again. The offset is also can only be done by the by 0.05. So you can't like get it to that like perfect little amount. It's gonna be kind of close enough. All right, completed leveling. Okay, well let's tell it to auto again. Now we're starting. Yeah, this bed leveling process is gut-wrenchingly slow. Sorry, my camera is slowly dripping. I'm using a my microphone boom, and I have my little camera on it, but it oh, it's coming loose. That's why. Hey, it doesn't stay all that tight. Plus, I'm using a plastic table, so I can't like really like wrench it down to hold on well. Kind of like good enough. But hey, this is closer than you were when you guys were up higher. So. Right, Ryan. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Anet site and see. Someone said there is Marlin on there. So let's do Anet ET4. Shop Anet. Okay, so it's going ET Series ET4 Pro. $200 on their website. Let's see here. Is there anything on here for it? No. Yeah, it's running 2208. That's cool. I don't know if this is 32-bit or not, but it is 2208. Here we go. Let's see. What do we got here? So models, camera mount, information, settings, manual guide, ET4's newest firmware. It's from March. One point 1.5. Update it. I wonder if series troubleshooting. Maybe there's something in here. I'll tell you how to do. Oh, so you have some videos and stuff in here on how to do the leveling and things. Oh, here's how to set up that. How to set up the sensor. Okay. How to flash ET4 with Marlin 2 Plus. Oh, that's so. I think this is what Tim was telling me. I was talking to Tim from TH3D, and he told me I need to have this, this thing, an ST link, and it's not here yet. But apparently, this is what's needed to update the thing in order to flash the firmware on it. ET4 open source. Is that Marlin? The ET4 bin in that. ET4. Relink doc. More bins here. 1.1 and 1.2. It says how to do it with Marlin 2 Plus. No, ET4 Pro can't be flashed to Marlin 2 Plus. So it's going to be Marlin 1. Keith, you still around? Remove the warranty. On their website, it says remove the warranty and unscrew the shell off. That's funny. Yeah, like I said, I know Tim from THC told me about this, but I have not received this yet. I mean, I'm not going to update this tonight either way. But again, if someone has anything to talk about it, please shoot me a message over on the Discord, which the links are down below if you guys want to hang out there. And yeah, we can try and do that. So, oh, it's totally different here. Yeah, look at the after open source, before open source. That's interesting. Dan, dude, go rest, my friend. Really, really hope you get better, dude. Talking to my wife about it. Hope you guys all get better. Feel really bad about that. But yes, please go rest. Go lay in bed. Really got to get some rest there, man. All right, well, either way, if anybody knows what's going on with Marlin for this machine, shoot me a message on Discord and I can check that out at a later time. But it did finally level, so completed level. So now we can go here and see if we just do a okay. We get this thing to get to the center point again, and then we'll check our Z offset on what that is. What I have right now is probably going to be too high. 1, 2, now for third time. Okay. So that is too low. I'm going to raise this up. There it is. Okay. Keep that pretty loose. I think that'll be okay. So we can hit okay. And we're going to print. We're going to try the dog again. Put this to home again. So it stores the bed leveling information in the machine, which is a little different. I think what that's called what UBL leveling, because it actually stores all that information in here before you print, which I'm not used to. I'm used to running a G29 every time I print, with Marlin obviously, and letting it level every single time. I want it to always check. But we are heating up now. John, what's up? Let's go to here. Yeah, let's do this for right now. I think I can have a cracker snack now while we wait. So everything looks pretty bog standard. Definitely different. Their ET series versus the A series, because obviously I did the Anet A8 Pro review just recently, and this definitely is a little bit of a different beast than what that was. Definitely need to get that open source firmware on here, because again, there's no baby stepping with this, which is strange. But again, with this original closed source software, closed source firmware, I should say. Bed the temperature. Hot end is climbing quickly, 125 C. One thing I did like about the auto bed leveling is down on there, it gives you a little readout. So right here, come here, click, click. There we go. So it gives you a readout right here of your actual like bed leveling offsets of each part, which is really cool to see because then you can see if your bed is cantered one way or another. You know, a lot of that other filament, that black that was in there before. I'm a little high, but it is doing a raft, so I kind of don't feel as bad about it. Does it have Z-hop enabled? Are you kidding me? Yes, it does. That's interesting. The fact they have Z-hop enabled on this. Fan. So there's a grate on this side of the machine. There's a grate, and there's an intake fan over here. So it's pulling in the air all the way, but the board is right here on this side. So it seems a little, where am I at here? Stop that. Zoom out some, zoom out some. There we go. So yeah, the board is here. The fan is down here. So it has to go all the way across this chamber before it reaches the board to cool it down. It seems to be better just to put the fan here, blowing across the board, getting the freshest air, and then sending it out. That's a little different. On a raft. Temperature for this is 200 C. This is one thing about the raft, even though I was a little high on the bed leveling, I was trying to be a little conservative. You can be more conservative with a raft because you will make up for it because it over extrudes the raft so much. By the time you get to the top of it, it's did a standard 2-layer raft. It is pretty much caught up and then your level is dead on after that. Very quiet. Super duper quiet. You can hear the fan on the side, and I can hear the power supply fan, but that's about it. Super duper quiet. Let's go back to here. I do need to make another scene like this, but I need to switch. I need to put me here, and I need to put the printer up here. So the power supply is right here on this side. So the terminals end right in the front there. So this fan blows across the terminals. But the power supply has its own fan, so I wouldn't really be too worried about its ability to stay cool. As long as that fan runs, we'll be okay. So let's go ahead and switch to here. While this go ahead and print for a little bit, we can switch to here. Now let's take a look at what it's saying the features of this thing is. So here is what you want ET4 Pro can help you achieve it. Well, has filament detection, auto bed leveling, resume printing, filament control, offline printing, okay, touchscreen, quick assemble, definitely was that. Large build area, CM by CM by CM, and 12-month warranty. Okay. So it has overcurrent protection, bed overload protection, motor overload protection, and nozzle over temp protection built into their custom board here that they've made. You can see the drivers in there as well. Let's see. 25-point data collection, self-calibrate. Yeah, so it is doing the matrix 25 points for that. It has the filament sensor. Yeah, we know that. Power outage recovery. Okay, we know that. Accidental power loss, resume printing. Here we have this automatic filament adjustment. Automatic load and unload of filament with just a click. Oh yeah, okay. It has that feature in the their graphic here is a little screwed up. It's like going through where the gear is. But yeah, so it doesn't have load and unload in the thing there. Let's see, what else do we have here? So assembly in no time. Yep, it took about that long. Intuitive touchscreen. I'd argue against their intuitive touchscreen there. So here we have what all comes with it. So extruder kit, the main body, filament, all this stuff here, belt, blah 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 stuff. And here's the specs of it: 220, 220, 250. We talked about that. 2.8-inch color screen, very very small. Less than 150 millimeters a second. Recommended speeds are 30 to 60 millimeters a second. Okay, that's pretty average for most printers. 250 on the extruder, 100 on the bed. It's aluminum hotbed with tempered glass. PLA ABS hips it can do, 1.75. STL OBA JPEG. JPEG, that's interesting. Maybe for the screen? Model support automatic. I mean, that's just what you're doing with your slicer. It's 110, 220, Cura, Repetier, Simplify 3D. I probably will try to get a proof slicer made for this. I'll probably start with Simplify 3D, which I always do, and then try for proof slicer after that. So yeah, you get free shipping from the USA warehouse. $200 for this one I have right now. That's not a bad price for a printer, honestly. And then just the ET4 is $150, so $50 less. So $50 buys you filament sensor, automatic bed leveling, and I don't know. Is this one 22/8 as well? So this says it's 32-bit, but it doesn't say what the drivers are, where this one says it is 22/8, but it doesn't say that's 32-bit. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, we're an hour into the stream and we've got a print going and we've already done some bed leveling a few times because I screwed it up. You can definitely hear that though. Oh yeah, the motor wheel, the extruder gear, definitely a little squeaky. I think it's the bearing that it's hooked up to. It can just hear when it retracts, you can hear it. It's a very slow, long retract. I'd probably say it's let's see how long that. It's probably like 20 or 30 millimeters a second on the retraction. Maybe 40 tops. And it's like 10 millimeter retraction. It's huge. Oh man, it is a huge retraction in there. Let's see, where we got here. I have an Artillery X1, and I have to say thank you for the honest review you made on it. Replace the extruder arm. The hob gear is awful quality though, so I'm working on replacing that. So John, I have seen a few people recently talk about that, where they were saying that the hob gear is actually plastic. But a lot of people said that it's just black metal. I have not had any issues with that, at least. But definitely replacing that arm was good. I think I linked it in the bottom of that video. There's also a spacer now that you can print and hook it onto the side of that aluminum. Your idler arm is here, aluminum is here. There's that gap. The arm can wander. This 3D print just kind of sits in there and helps keep that filament, the idler arm, in a straight line and not meander. That might help you out if you are having any kind of grinding issues with that. I think I posted it in the bottom of that video, but if I didn't, then I will definitely try to go back and do that. Yeah, once I did that, the X1 works pretty good, and adding on the cable strain relief clamp on the actual extruder and then hot gluing all of the connections definitely made it a much more reliable machine. And it is printing good. I really only print it honestly for TPU now though, because it's direct drive and I have such an awesome direct drive profile. Now actually that I look at it, looking at my idler, it's way up there. So looking at my extruder arm, the extruder gear, mine is silver. It's not black like I've seen other people's. And I have a V4. And as far as I know, that is the newest version they've ever put out. So I'm curious if yours is black or if yours is silver in there. Because if it's black, it might be an older version than what I have. And it very well could be worse quality, poorer quality, more poor quality, however you want to say that. I don't know. I do 3D printing computers. I don't do English. That's what I got married for. That and math. Wife does math too. With that squeakiness went away now. That's good. I have to say, between the Z-hop and the crazy long, slow retraction, no wonder why this print's going to take forever. I do feel the motor compensating though. Again, it would be better with dual Z. But yeah, why they have Z-hop enabled is interesting. So my hob bolt is silver. Okay. Does mine have a curvature to hold on the filament? I can't really tell right now. Maybe I'll go get the step stool in a minute. Literally, my printer is like, it's all the way up there. It's 6 feet off the ground. So in order for me to get up to where the extruder is, I need to get my step ladder out and see. But I can't tell if there's a curvature to it or not right now. I don't know if you can see it in the video that I did for it, but it'll be a minute till I can get up there and take a look at it. Matthew says he has a V1 or V2 and everything is black plastic. Interesting, Matthew. So it is a plastic hob gear. That's interesting. Well, Ryan, you know what? Let's let it print because I want to give it. This is their test file. Kind of as things are going. I always try and print what they provide initially just to kind of see how it's going. It is doing like 12 first layers though, or it's a solid object, one or the other. I don't know. But yeah, I do know that they did give in the FAQs. But anyway, let's get Simplify 3D open up here. Change you guys to here. Yeah, you guys can see that. Let's delete that. Let's see if we can do, I wonder if they have a profile for already in here. No, just an A8 and an A6. So let's go ahead and we're just going to copy the A8 profile. We're just going to save as new. And this is going to be Anet ET4 Pro. It does have coverage. Okay, John. Yeah, so I definitely might have a newer version than what you have. So we're gonna change retraction. We're just gonna go to 3 and 40 for now. Since it is a Bowden, kind of just let that go there. We're gonna be doing 0.2 millimeter layer heights. Do 4 bottom, 4 top, 2 shells, inside out. Do 5 mil from there. Infill. Let's do fast honeycomb. Support, not going to worry about temperature. Bed 60, 200 on that is fine. fan on layer 3. We'll go up to 100. Okay, now we're going to show 220 by 220 by 250 is the size there. We don't need to change any else of that. Script. We want to do 228, and then again, I don't know what this is running. So let me go back to here. They did have some. Let's go back here. FAQ, ET series. It said how to do it in Marlin. I'm curious what their startup G, because I don't know if it's G29 or not. For if it is running something other than Marlin, what would the startup be? How to do it in Pronterface, it's fine. It has to be running some type of Marlin on it, just an old version of Marlin. It has to be, right? Yeah, so I mean, if I want to do this, it would just be, I'm gonna do a G29 on a bed level. Good rhyme, but I gotta pull it out. Let me give it another minute. See how it goes. Let's give this another minute here. Yeah, I just want to get it a little bit taller so we can see how it's doing. I'm gonna throw something at you. I'm gonna throw a wrench at you. Oh, I can hear the squeaking on that again. Oh, there we go. Let's do that. Yeah, I did. You're welcome. Anyways, yeah. So you guys all saw the launch of the what's it called? The belt printer that launched now. I saw Angus's video today on it. That was interesting. See his thoughts on it. I wonder if I should put these racing stripes back on it. There, we're gonna do that. But yeah, Angus's video was interesting. Again, I'm glad that he put in there about it is a Kickstarter, not a store. I've been kind of griping on that for a while. Oh, Ryan, it won't matter because it doesn't do auto bed level in the beginning anyways. I guess what I can do is we can hook it up to the computer, the Pronterface, and I can send a G28, G29 command and see how it goes. I'm just going to give this another minute or two before I continue on. also printing at like a super duper fine level. Let's stop it here then. Just from this little bit, I mean, it's really hard to tell, but it comes off of the raft really nice and easily. But so far, you guys can't see any of that junk, can you? Focus on my hand. Please, focus on my hand. It's white, you can't tell anyways. Either way, the layers look really nice so far on that. Oh, it's the MakerBot dog. It's got the MakerBot logo baked in the bottom of it. It's not even their own model. I think I found them. Let me go back. Where's my window at here? Automatic level. Here's the ET4 to open source. Yeah. Well, again, either way, Ryan, it's cool, but I don't have the ST link. That's the problem. I do not have that little doodad. So I'm just going to leave this open for now because, yeah, I can't update it either way. So let's pull in, they don't have it there anyway, so it doesn't really help me. Let's pull up Pronterface real quick here. And let's connect the printer. Port there. It's going to be under here. Oh, it's freaking froze now. Let me just double check my devices here real quick. See where it says it's plugged in into. Should be COM port 10. Yes, I know Pronterface. I know. Port 10. There it is. Okay. So if we do a G28, yeah, it tells it to home. Cool. Do that a second. Ryan, that is Aaron's 3D printer challenge printer. I am finishing up the screen captures and things like that for that video, and I was missing his file, so he finally just sent me it so I can view it. So that's G28. Now let's try G29. Okay, that's baked in that it's that slow. Baked in that slow. So let's give that a second. But now I guess we can go back to here and go back to Simplify 3D. And again, I put the G29 in there. So cool. Print at 60 C. All right, well, let's just throw in, I guess we'll throw in a benchy. Here to print that sucker. What's the here to print? F800 or F8000? F8000. Okay, yeah, that's what you said. I didn't know if that would work for. I did not know if that would work for auto bed leveling. I know it works for movement. You have an extrude line in there as well. Q. Just going to, if I try to tell this thing to stop, where's prime face at? Well, let's just can't stop it when it's in the middle of the thing. Disconnect. Connect. Reset the printer, please. My goodness. Okay. Connect. There we go. Okay. So if we do G28 again real quick, and you want to do G29 F8000. See how this goes. Okay. See if this works, Ryan. Still going real slow. Real slow. Yeah, nope, that did not work at all. But that's okay. It is what it is. We'll just leave it at that. Disconnect that. Just take that out just in case it runs anything weird. Prepare to print. Hour and 12 is what it's spitting it's going to take us. It's fine. Well, I'll make do with it. G save. Will pass successfully exported. Print myself a 3D benchy. All right, let's see how this goes then. Disconnect that just in case. I might lower that. Actually, let's stop real quick. If I go to the prepare level, we'll make that just a smidge closer on the Z. Yeah, for that slow, BL Touch, definitely. But again, this printer seems to be fairly new. I honestly don't know how long this printer's been around. If anybody knows, love to hear it. But it seems like again, Anet is making a lot of changes that I personally like. I think they're making some good changes here for what they've done with from going from the Anet to the Anet, from the Anet A8 to the A8 Plus. Obviously, the Plus is bigger model, but it's also full extrusion. There's no acrylic parts. They're using some stamp sheet aluminum for parts of it. Great, all that's great stuff. And it seems like they're pushing to go towards open source, which they have articles on how to do that on their shop. That's cool. It just seems like right now they're kind of in a transition period of, okay, should we put that on all of our existing boards or ship it out and tell people how to do it? The only thing that sucks is you got to go out and buy that little ST link thingy. And again, Tim told me that they are kind of crap, so I bought two just in case one doesn't work. But I think that they are, maybe in the future, maybe this printer will be fully open source and actually come with Marlin shipped on it. That'd be cool. Okay, the G28. Doing the G29 auto bed level. I don't like how it heats up the nozzle first. That's another thing that I will do. I've been doing that in a lot of my my printers now. So for things like the Bear and Megatron, things like that, I have it heat the bed up. So it does G28 homes and it heats the bed up to whatever your temperature is. And then I have it go to auto bed level, home, would go back to the start position, not technically home because home would erase your ABL. But it goes to the start position, then heats the extruder up. That way you don't get the little boogers as you're probing along. So, made what white, Ryan? Sorry, I wasn't tracking what you were saying there. It's actually a nice size capacitive sensor because that's the one thing is that when you get into, if you go on AliExpress right now, you look up capacitive sensors, to get anything that has a decent sensing distance, they're pretty big, to be honest. Like they're usually like 10, 12, 16 millimeters. Definitely a big sensor. So to see that this little 8 millimeter sensor, or even maybe this is 12, I don't know. It's small though in comparison to what a lot of them are that have a lot larger throw or sensing distance, I should say, not throw, sensing distance. Oh, the whole printer should be white. That would definitely make it stand out in the sea of black printers. I mean, the full blackout, I kind of like it. I dig that with my green racing stripe up there now. But so this is the ET4 Pro. The ET4 looks like it's red. So all of the aluminum pieces on it are actually red instead of black, or most of them are. But I do like that the carriage here, the enclosure over the hot end, it doesn't wobble at all. It doesn't shake at all. That was a big problem on the Mingda. I had to take that shroud off just because it was so doggone loud with when it was moving. Come on, doggone it. This filament, again, these filament boogers build up on the nozzle as it's preheated when you do your auto bed leveling, and because it takes such a long time, even if it takes a short amount of time, you're still going to get ooze. So, okay, so it's going to go down here to the front. Should get our extrusion line going. Takes a minute to get that filament finally coming out. We're still definitely a little high. Well, looks pretty good there, though. I'm definitely digging how quiet it is, though. That is nice. It's really just the power supply fan right now that I hear. When I did the G29, it told me on here that it completed leveling on the LCD screen for me to click OK on it. So that's interesting. So this is at 60 millimeters a second is what I set it to. Yeah, Ryan, I could turn knobs. You're right. I kind of forgot that that's adjustable on here. So I set this to 60 millimeters a second. I'm using pretty much the Anet A8 Plus profile with just a few things changed in it for this printer. But that's the first layer down and looks good. No over extrusion at all. So we'll let this bench sheet kind of go for a little bit and see how it well, I guess it is good to hear the power supply fan. So for those of you that were keeping an eye on my my BLV, my BLV MGN Cube build, the cheap power supply that came in that 500 watt unit, or the 500 watt power supply, the cheap fan in that cheap power supply wasn't spinning. It actually would come off of its hub. The magnets were just bad. So the printer would just shut down after it was printing. I was like, what the world is going on? It took me a while to figure it out. I think finally someone asked me in the comments, hey, is the fan running? And I was like, yeah, of course it is. Went in the back. It wasn't at all. Reseated it. It worked for a while. Then it kind of fell off again. So I put a new fan in there. And that power supply has been great ever since then. But yeah, that is the one thing. Having, like I said, a little bit of an audible fan on there really tells you it is cooling properly. So yeah, that was, forget who told me about that. I love quiet printers. Really nice to hear that. And a fan, it only is loud as well because it's on a plastic table. So a lot of the sound is reflected up very, very easily. All of my shelves actually have foam core on them, on the wire shelving, to help absorb some of the vibration and noise from each printer. So all of these layers all have foam core between them to help with that. So that definitely reduces a lot of the noise that comes from the printers when I have more than one going. Lately, I've only had a few going at a time. Pretty much ever since the beginning of the pandemic, I haven't really gone like full gung-ho on printing again. But I mean, the beginning of the pandemic, I went through a ton of filament, and I'm actually going to get ready to pull everything out. And I'm actually going to clear out the whole floor here, how my wife helped me, and we're going to organize all my filaments by type because I need to get some of them. I just don't print polycarbonates, things like that. And I just want to see all my PLAs together because I was looking on Black Friday sales today and I'm like, do I really need more filament? We're moving in, 6-8 months. Do I really need to buy more filaments? And I was like, you know what? No, I don't. I should just wait. I still have filament up top the companies have sent me. I have a ton from 3D Printing Canada I still need to use on some projects. So it just, yeah, I kind of had to pull the reins on my own shopping for a little bit. Like, you know what? I really don't need that. So this is falling down again. Ugh. .2 millimeter layer height. Nothing crazy on this one. But if you guys have any questions on this machine or anything else, now's the time to ask, because now we're going to be waiting for about an hour, hanging out while this thing runs. We can try the filament and power outage in this machine. Definitely can give that a shot. I'm going to wait till we get a good third or a quarter or a third of the way through the print before I do any of that. But I know that we're going to get layer defects with the power outage on this machine. The only machine that really has any type of real power outage is like the Prusa machines, where it actually will remove the head from the print when it detects. I just freeze up. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. My connection dipped there for a quick minute. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Anyways, so it actually moved the head away, where most of the other machines, it just kind of sits there. And depending on how much pressure your extruder's pushing down the nozzle, you're going to get a bunch of blobbing there for however long it takes to cool down. And then when you go to start it back up, you're going to have that blob on there. And that's, yes, you can continue a print. You're going to see it though. But with filament outage, once it detects that filament outage, it will immediately move out of the way because of the advanced pause features in Marlin. Now, granted, this isn't running straight Marlin, running something a little different. As someone said, maybe Smoothie. But either way, usually when a filament loss detection happens, it will move the hot end away. You can load your new filament, it purges it, then it restarts again where it was, and your defect of where that happens is very, very minimal. But power loss, I guess as long as it works, if that's what you need it for, great. If as long as it works, but I guess we'll wait and see. It is interesting also they sent a silk filament with this instead of like a regular old PLA, but it is this silky white. And even here, the creaking, you can really tell silk filament is like that because it creaks against each other. Regular filament doesn't do that. Normal PLAs, things like that. It's just the whatever material they use to make that silkiness. And now that it's after Thanksgiving, I've got my Lego wreath back up. My son helped me put that together today. He was excited about that. Been asking about it for days. Saw it in the Christmas decoration box. So I've got my little bit of happiness, a little bit of joy up there. I'm not going to put any lights up, I don't think. I did that in my last place, and the LED lights would flicker. I think if I had bulb ones, I think I do have bulb ones, but I don't think the strand, there's a lot of bad lights in that one. But yeah, I think if I put bulbs up, I wouldn't get that flickering in the background. It was very distracting on those videos when I did that there. But it did make the videos festive, I thought. So very clean build so far, very easy to put together. Kind of was not expecting this at all. I didn't know it was going to come in 3 pieces. Extruder, gantry, and base. That's all it was. Did not expect that at all. I know it's not spring steel, but the other nice thing about having the glass sheet with this build tack foam mat on the top is nice because on the other side you can put a piece of PEI if you want to, or to keep it plain glass, which also is nice. I have any black filament in my stash. So that's my dad. I need to 3D print him some crows. I think I did order some recently. But you have to find a good crow model. That's the thing, is trying to find one. Thingiverse real quick. CNC Evolution, how you doing? There's a couple Halloween crows, some open wing ones. I think some of these need support. Yeah. I print a couple of these. With their wings open. But even if I don't have black, if I print them, just spray paint them black. Might be a better thing to do there. All right, so we are getting to pretty soon the bottom of the box in the back of the benchy. It says we're 15 minutes in, 17%. We'll wait till about 25%. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and snip the filament, and we'll see how the runout detection works on that. Now, retraction could be an issue in this because I totally spitballed the retraction rate, the retraction distance and speed. Just said, 3 mil at 40. Just YOLO, see how it goes. So we might see some retraction issues on this. But again, that's something I have to tune. With any printer that you get, you kind of just have to tune it. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do it. I've done some extensive retraction testing on the the BLV MGN Cube. Extensive retraction testing on that to figure out what the issue was. And it's kind of a combination of cheap parts, pretty much between the extruder and the nozzle. Was kind of what led to me having some stringing on that machine. But generally, Teaching Tech has a pretty decent little model that you can do. There's also Carl's print. He has the retraction cube that you pretty much send. It creates this G code. You set your nozzle size, all that kind of stuff, and send it. And it will do all kinds of crazy retraction testing on it. And then once it's done, it takes about 2 to 3 hours to print. Once it's done, you can go ahead and figure out what speed and distance is the best looking on that. Then set your slicer to that, do a simple retraction test, and really dial that in, which is a very cool test. I've not been able to get it to work well for some of my printers. It's got me kind of close to things, but I've had to do some other more rudimentary testing to kind of just get to the bottom of what is the best retraction for the machines that I'm using. Right now, Scenes Evolution, this is printing at 60 millimeters a second. That's what I've set it to in Simplify 3D. But normally, if you're asking just for this printer, but normally for most of my prints, I print between 60 and I'll say 80 millimeters a second. Normally, there's a few printers that I'll print upwards of 100. So like the Mark 3S, the Bear, Megatron, my Mark 3S clone, the Artillery X1, those will all print 100 to 120 millimeters a second for standard PLA prints. Those ones I can generally kind of really kick up there to go. But most of these budget 3D printers, 60's fine. You know, I mean, you're not buying these machines for speed either way. So if you are, you're looking at the wrong machines. drink of our non-sponsored Pepsi. We're at 25%. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the filament here. That almost hit me. And let's see what happens when it detects a loss. Oh, it just triggered the switch. There it goes. Please add filament. So, pull this out now. Pull out the old filament. So that's what we cut off there. Grab this our new spool. I will say, looking at watching Tom's video today about the filament runout placement, Anet made the same thing where it's just just enough space to get your finger in there, but not much. So we gotta hang that, hit OK. And then tweezer that. Oh, and then you gotta hit play. There, okay, that's what it is. So it pauses it, and you gotta hit play on the LCD for it to continue on. Okay, so filament runout detection works. Super cool. You can see a little bit of blobbing right here, a little bit of retraction again. Totally guessed on retraction settings for this machine. We'll see how it turns out in the end. No contacts yet, Ryan. I'm still waiting. You do. You see flexible right there. It can make crows squishy. Oh man, it's hot. What is in here right now? 78, 46% humidity. It's toasty in here. Toasty, toasty, toasty. Hello, Jimmy. Salute. Are you Italian, maybe? Is that what it is? Dead little boats. Yeah, I could have. What am I looking for? Ah, this. Okay. I was expecting a little more of a more I don't know, newer extruder instead of one so basic. And these ones never lose grip because they've got such deep, big teeth on that hob gear in there that it really just chews anything and pushes it through. I do worry about its capability of flexibles just due to the spacing in there. It's not very, the filament path is not very constrained. Kennedy, what's up, man? Yeah, Ryan, it's on my to-do list. Jim's here. What's up, Jim? Wait, have you been here? You just been quiet? Of course, yeah, you have been quiet. So I thought you threw a couple bucks at me at the beginning of the stream. Jim for the Crow Fund. High temp PET. Huh. That sounds like an interesting filament. Well, I guess we can throw out some of these baggies and stuff. Don't need any of this anymore. So it's nice, the tools, they did come with ball head Allen wrenches, which is nice. And it does come with a small flathead screwdriver for adjusting the probe. But again, there's no real instructions on how to do that. Probably up past the main deck of the benchy. I'm going up a bit bigger now, so no no stringing. So obviously retraction might be a little too high. Again, I guessed at 3 mil. We're also printing silk at 200, so it's usually on the lower end for silk filament. Yeah, I would like to see a one-page document in here on how to do the bed leveling, because it's when it's on the machine, it's extremely important to figure that out on how to get that first layer set. But if they just totally don't do it at all, it kind of, this is the point of it, I guess, Would like to see a pair of flush cutters in here as well. That would have been nice to see. Because even the A8 Plus, didn't that come with flush cutters? What are instructions? I'm from Canada. No, I am not. I don't apologize enough. Sorry to all you Canadians, but I just apologize there. Yeah, I'm not a Canadian though. Just like we don't need directions until we do, right, guys? Yeah, so this came from one of Anet's authorized dealers. They shipped it from Amazon, it looks like. iPrinter is the name of the company. Got it pretty quick, which was surprising for me, because sometimes my mail takes a minute to get here. But it got here pretty quick. Yeah, Dustin got it. The answers don't apologize. Speaking of Yinzers, man, that Steeler game got delayed. Man, I was kind of hoping to watch that one. Or at least watch the recaps online. But we got to wait till Sunday now for that game. Yeah, Greg, I'm from Pittsburgh. I guess I don't have any Steeler memorabilia in my office, which is funny. I have it in my office at work. Got the terrible towel hung up right on the door to my office. So everybody knows when they walk in, it's who you're coming to see. Oh, it's till Tuesday now. Oh, I didn't hear that. Man, it was Sunday. Now Tuesday. Jeez. The control box on fortune cookie paper. Jim. I do want to crack this open though. Once this is done, I want to take a look at safety. You know, we can check out depending on how late it gets. I mean, it's getting a little late now. We're 2 hours in the stream, but if I can, we'll crack it open, take a look underneath. We can do a quick thermal runaway test real quick. Heat up the hot end, pull a thermistor, see what happens. If it stops, yay. If not, then thermal runaway is not enabled. And the stock firmware, again, I'll worry about Marlin another night. Maybe once I get that part in, I can do a live stream of upgrading this to Marlin and see how that goes. But we'll kind of have to wait until that happens. Both Ravens and so I know that a bunch of Ravens did. It was a trainer or something like that was positive and still came to work on the Ravens staff. So yeah, and then I heard some Steelers. I didn't hear how many or who it was though. Hour and a half north of Pittsburgh. All right, you're up there past the outlets. You're a little up there, getting close to Erie. So Jay asked, any ideas of DIY projects for this one? This seems to be really field printer design. It's I don't have any, honestly. I mean, I don't modify printers for the sake of modifying them. The Anet A8 Plus is kind of the exception to that. But if it works out of the box, then I throw it on the shelf and it just runs. You know, I will modify some things just for the sake of content, so that if someone's like, oh, it's I'm having extrude issues. Like when I did the flex plate on the Ender 3, I didn't have a flex plate, so putting one on there, cool. I put on the TH3D easy extruder. What's he called? His tough extruder, easy extruder. Anyways, Tim's Titan clone. I put that on there as well. You know, to be able to print flexibles a little easier. Works great. But for this, it's not really much right now that I need to modify, except for firmware, it seems like. It's a quiet printer. Again, it's got 22/8 in there. That's great. You know, would like to see more functionality from the LCD. Marlin will provide that. Filament runout, power. Oh, Fox Chapel. Oh, yeah, I know it is. 3 Steelers now. Okay. Well, again, that's the exception, Ryan. Ultra Magnus is the exception because I wanted that printer for that project specifically. I did not. This ain't necessarily, hey, we'll send this to you to check out. Sure, I'll check it out. It's just another one of the random ones I have to test. But before I even got the A8 from Banggood, I had that idea in mind of what to do with that printer. So again, that is the exception. But all of my like normal review printers, I won't modify unless I have to, or if I had them for a long time, like the i3 Mega. I've had that for a while, and I've done a lot of things to that just for kind of like fun. It prints really well out of the box, but I kind of wanted to change things up a little bit on it. So You're saying power outage? All right, well, let's power outage. Continue? Yes. Okay, it homes away right away. Now it comes back because it's already at temp. Or a little bit of skipping. I think it lost a little bit of Z when it did that. So we're probably going to see a kind of smushed over extruded line with that layer right there. And then it'll catch back up. Phone's blowing up. Oh, someone on Instagram hit me up. I'll have to get to that later. $3D printer for 85 bucks. Slick deals. What's up with that? Oh, that looks like junk. Buy two for $75 each. This little machine looks horrid. What's the build volume on this thing? 110 by 110 by 123. Oh man. I don't think it has a name. I can tell. Yeah, it is why you need dual Z. Ryan, well, I am currently doing a bunch of test prints on Master Crane right now to be able to have some sample prints to post. I'm still trying to do some tuning because, well, I found the one filament I was using was kind of crap. So I'll show you guys while this finishes up, if you don't mind. I'll show you a little bit of Master Crane prints here. So let me pull up this to full screen here. So this is the back of what's it called, Deadpool. And you can see there's a lot of variation in there. You know, the underarms came out great, but a lot of variation in the filament in here. And I was like, man, that just doesn't look that great. I mean, overall, it's not a horrible print, but definitely not like what I want it to be. So I reprinted in Jesse PLA, and I have some of the same under extrusion points. You can see it in there right there. I mean, overall, look, this looks great, but then you hit these weird spots here and there. Jesse PLA did not do as good on the underarm here as that other filament did, but overall, it did much, much better. But you can see every now and then, right here, there's a little kind of under extrusion part. I don't know if that is the nozzle or if that is just the crazy cheap BMG extruder, because I think the BMG extruder I'm using on there costs $3. Let's see, there's another right down there. It's another weird little random under extrusion part. But man, those swords, look how nice those look. Up here, another under extrusion part. It's not the filament, because I've printed this filament out in multiple other others before, but I just don't know why I'm getting that. Again, it might just be the super cheap BMG that's on there. You think the under extrusions are because of the well, I mean, the under extrusions are because of the cantilever design? It shouldn't be. Because I don't see the same defects that I saw in this print. Exact same G code, didn't change anything, just loaded this film and hit print. This came out remarkably better than this, excuse me, than this did. I didn't change anything, didn't tighten anything, literally did nothing. But there's a few points where the under extrusion is in the exact same spot. So that's what kind of is weird to me, is that some of these issues are literally in the exact same spot. Although I'm very happy with the results. Just this is the first large print that I've done. A while. Do you need me? Check on the wife real quick. I'll be right back. Mute. Unmute. Okay. Yeah, I hear you, Jim. I get that. But again, the fact that I'm seeing that under extrusion wouldn't be the arm, because on the other, if it's under extruding on the front, wouldn't I see a defect somewhere else then? I plan on trying some more models on it. Again, I want to do some more. I have that arm pretty tight. It doesn't really, and I'm going slow. Like I'm printing at 30 millimeters a second on that printer. I'm not printing fast at all. I think I'm up doing 50 now on it maybe, but I think this was done at 30 because this took 10 hours to print. But yeah, I'm very happy with the results. I know it's not going to be perfect. I mean, it's going to be really hard to get it to be perfect because it's a $130 printer. It's not that expensive. So, I mean, the Ender 2 was a cantilever printer. I really liked it. I got great prints off of that machine. I modified it, just kind of make everything a little more compact. I mounted the power supply underneath it, gave it some feet, a couple little accessories on it, but like nothing really major to it. But that machine printed great. I really liked it. And that's where I kind of got my inspiration from for this one. but it was using that single 2020 rail going across, and it was built with aluminum, so it's obviously more structurally sound than my printer because I used PETG to print it, not metal parts. Although there was a little metal, little CNC I ran across today on Banggood on sale. I was like, ooh. But I don't think it's going to be able to do what I want it to do. Clap to a Slim Jim. They'll need to do something about the bed wire back here, though. The way that it curls on itself wants to obstruct the back of the print, the back side of the bed here. That's definitely something to keep an eye on. We are 62% done through this print. Oh, you think it's ringing and not extrusion? I didn't think it would be ringing. Excuse me. I'm getting tired. Halfway through the front port holes on it. I think retraction might be a little higher. I am seeing a little bit of stringing now in the back. So yeah, retraction does need to be a little bit higher, it seems like, or faster. I wish companies would make their little sample rolls that they send maker box sized, because I've got a ton of maker box spools laying around that I could use for this filament. I guess I could re-spool it, but that's way too much work. Maybe more of noise on the print. I want to try to get rid of it though. So again, I'm going to try and play with firmware a little bit more on it, because that's also was part of the challenge, was just figuring out your own firmware for your own custom printer. So that definitely made it a little more tough. questions on this thing? 33 people in here. No questions on anything or anything that I'm working on. Quiet night from everybody. Quiet night. So Ron, I do have better BMGs coming right now. Obviously not real ones, but better quality clones from what I hear from a lot of other people. And one of those better ones is going on the BLV. But what I could do is right now I have the Anycubic Mega Zero one is on the BLV. It's actually a really good clone. I might put that on there and see if that does any type of difference. But I really do like that one. I need to put it back on the Mega Zero so I can print with that some more. But either way. Yeah, Aaron, we're printing, man. You knew this was going to be a short stream. Come on, man. That is interesting. So if you look over at the... So look at this bearing here. It is bigger than the center part of this extrusion. So it's pulling the belt back through the V-slot to come up and out. This bearing is too big. Because if you look down here at the actual motor, you can see that it is small enough to be in line. It has the belt going inside that channel, where again, as it goes down here, it pops out on both those, top and the bottom. So definitely, this is definitely wrong down there. That should be a smaller bearing. Yes, Ryan, I can. But I won't be doing that. Oh, yes, John. Let me find that for you, buddy. Where am I at here? Let's go to this here. Thingiverse. I have it saved. Again. Actions. Find the artillery. Sidewinder X1. Of course, I did not bookmark it. Shoot. Alert. Wobble. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Do, 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 do. I think this is it here. Let's see. Where's the one that I used? I know the thumbnail that he used. So if I see it, I will know it. I did find one already, which I'll link you as well. But I thought there was another one here. I just don't know where it went. Thought I bookmarked it. Apparently I didn't. Chris Travis, what's up, man? How you doing? We do. I got two here. This one's for the right here says it's for the aluminum idler. And this one should be for the stock. So that should get you going on what you need to do. Greg, any holiday projects? I don't think so, because they don't ever really get a lot of traction for like holiday prints, things like that. They're not terribly popular videos, and I have so many builds that I'm working on right now. I think I'd rather dedicate my time to that than just printing out random stuff. I'm also not printing anything for this holiday. I have stuff already printed. You know, my main and my, you know, most favorite holiday print is the MakerBot Nutcracker, which is a fantastic print. It comes out great quality if you can print it well. I gave away quite a few last year, and I just have the one that I kept for us, and I just have that one still. And our Christmas stuff is on the shelf today. That's probably my favorite one. But as of right now, I'm not planning on doing anything for that. I mean, I didn't even do a Black Friday video. Didn't really feel like it. I was looking around at deals, and like there's a couple, but nothing really great. Like Prusa had free shipping over 200 bucks. Like that's a lot of money to spend on just like filament or something like that from him. I'm probably just gonna pick up a nozzle from Printed Solid because I think they have a deal on those right now. And just nothing really like was like, ooh, that's a great deal. You know, pretty much the same deals that were on 11/11 from that video are Black Friday videos, or the same for Black Friday. So again, nothing was really there. Ultra Magnus is coming up again super soon. I wanted to get this done. Tomorrow night is the Saturday Night 3D printing stream. Is going to be designing some stuff for the wife that she wants for the kitchen. So we're going to do a little bit of fusion work tomorrow night, maybe 1 or 2 hours of some design work. Super simple stuff, nothing crazy hard. Just some custom boxes for the pantry. So we'll design those up tomorrow night and get those printed out. Then on Monday's either going to be finally the 3D printer challenge video. Probably will go Monday, and then next Friday, a week from today, will be the JG Aurora build for their printer. That is the A8 Plus or Max or whatever it is. It's their new one of that. Oh yeah, we can really see the low retraction now. Couldn't really tell down in the body, but once we got up into the actual cabin, you can really see the lack of retraction in there. You see the stringing, and you can see the right on here. You can see the bulges. That's retraction's not high enough there. You see a couple little ones down here. Again, you can really start to see up in here where retraction is not quite high enough. I guesstimated theirs to be 10. Yeah, again, not a big deal though. Totally not a big deal. It's quite okay. I am also happy to say that the cabling, I was a little worried about this giant ribbon cable here. It's cool to the touch. It's not warm at all. So that's cool. Literally. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, that watch water was a ton of fun to make. I really enjoyed that. I thank Cults for giving me the opportunity to be able to make that one. They actually have supplied content for 3 more videos, and I just haven't gone around to any of them yet. One, I did get the other parts. I needed one other thing to order in for that. I didn't make that yet. The other ones I made actually like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. I printed them and the kids have been playing with them ever since. So they are outdoor things, which are really cool. And they have just been loving those. I have to actually bring those back inside to be able to do that video. Those are more featurette videos, at least that one is. Just something cool I saw on Cults that I wanted to call out and say, hey, these are cool looking, easy to print. I printed them really big, so check them out. And then I forget what the third one is. The third one is a super complicated one that I'm going to have to work on getting printed at some point. And I think that's also going to be a little bit of airbrush, which has been sitting idle for a long time. I want to get back to do some airbrushing. But I kind of have postponed those videos until I can make some space in here from these other printers. I need to find a home for the BLV, which I think is going to be under my desk. I just need to rearrange what's under here, which is all my filament crates. I need to rearrange the filament boxes so that I can fit the printer under the desk so it's out of the way. Because being in the middle of the floor, not helpful at all, and it can't sit on the table all the time because I need this table to do live streams and videos and things like that, and it doesn't fit on a shelf. So it's going to have to live under here. I'll probably make room for that sooner rather than later because it is really cutting into my space by having to walk around that thing all the time. Oh, hey, Gunner, welcome back. No worries, John. Those are not the exact ones that I used, but give them a shot. The one looks like it's for stock. The other one looks like it's for aluminum. Again, it's definitely not the one that I exactly used, but it will work. It really, really did help that idler arm from wandering. I almost thought about doing another video just on that because I didn't bring it up in my video because I didn't notice it at first. But when I went to the metal arm, I did start noticing the wander. So yeah, it's just either way. Oh my God, you print this part so slow. All right, Ryan, catch you later. See you tomorrow night. Thanks for stopping by for a while. Kids real quick. I'll be back. You guys can enjoy watching it print. I didn't mute, did I? Nope, I didn't. Muted the wrong thing. Don't mute that. Mute. Check. Check, check. Okay. My mic died. I was down to the last bar of the battery there, so I'm going to change that up. Yeah, Gunnar, I had to run for a minute, so I'm back now. And now I have fresh battery in my lav mic. Top of the roof, almost done. We are at 77%. Almost there. We can take a look at how this looks. And yeah, we'll make some changes and I'll do some more test prints after this. It'll probably be running tomorrow night when I do a live stream. It'll be having stuff coming out, have some prints coming off of it. I had muted Gunnar while I was gone. Side seat parenting, what I have to say to my kids. The base gets pretty warm. Even with that fan on there. I feel no airflow coming out of this side, but I definitely feel the heat of it. Z motor's pretty warm. X is kind of warm. I can't feel Y. Y's underneath. No, Gunnar, I don't think it's Z-wobble. I think it could be just filament inconsistency. There's a lot of things it could be. It's definitely not Z-wobble. It's not uniform at all. But it's also silk, so like you can see every little bit of deformation of the print. You can really see, or any issue in there, you can really see with this filament. The bow looks fantastic, though. I'm going to blame, like I said, I'm not really going to blame a lot on this printer for this print. A lot of it's going to be me. That is spinning. Well, that bridging looks great. But because I'm not using their pre-sliced G code, I'm using what I made. It might be off. You know, it might not be what's optimal for this printer. So I still need to do some tuning, profile tuning to get that right. Come on, stay in there. Hammer tonight. Oh, Gunner. Do-do-do-do-do. Come on, little printer. I definitely don't like the interface they have on this machine. So odd. But I might need to take some B-roll of it for the review so I can talk about it, because I definitely don't want to be flashing back and forth between this old version and what going to go to. Francis, welcome back. I'm getting hungry tonight. Oh, good, the nozzle's labeled. I hate when you get spare nozzles and they don't label what the diameter is, because I just have a drawer of nozzles. They kind of just throw everything in there. So ones that aren't labeled, they just get thrown away because I'm not going to guess what the nozzle size is. Man, it's hot. My goodness. We're up to 80 degrees in here. Where it's hot. Oh, this looks similar to the one you have on the King Ron. So I know Brandon, I don't think he's here. Brandon has the King Ron, and I think he replaced the board, or he's going to replace the board in it. He's done a lot of work to that machine. Let's hit the top of the roof now. Almost there. Yeah, I'll be very interested to see how much changes. I want to do a few prints with this firmware. Again, obviously, I don't have the ST Link thing to change it anyways. And it'll be a couple days till mail. Won't be anytime soon. So at least until I get that in, I'm going to do prints with this firmware, how it is, tune my Simplify 3D profile at least, and be able to get something done with this. And then once I load the new firmware, I can repeat the prints again and see how it goes. Oh yeah, how yours is straight like that. Oh, okay, yeah. It's wider than mine as well. Mine looks pretty narrow where the actual cuts are. That's interesting. Yeah, so far, Gunner, it's really not that bad, to be honest. A lot of features. Again, auto bed leveling, not very intuitive in its native form. And they also don't give a lot of information on it. So as a more experienced 3D printer, I guess, I can meander, get my way through it. Great. But as for someone's first printer, not having clear instructions on how to get the probe properly set to the bed, with its sensing distance, and then actually running it in the firmware, there's much to be desired on that part there. So Yeah, the flat style would be terrible. It should have a little bit of a contour to it to help grip more of that filament and push it down. That's definitely weird. Spend a month making all 5 A10Ss into Ender style printers. Oh wow, that's a big undertaking. My A10 died long ago. I still have my Enders though, which not much longer. I need to move those down to the get rid of printer pile, I think, and make some more space up here because it's getting a little tight, especially with these new printers coming in. Because the JG Aurora is huge. It's an enormous printer. I have no idea where I'm gonna put that sucker. Maybe it'll fit up on this shelf behind the CR10S. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the CR10S though. I don't know. Come on, 97%, almost there. Again, it wouldn't be an issue if you include I mean, setting the level is fine. Like it's simple to do that, but just having a quick in the user manual, spend half a page. It tells you on like how to load filament and all that stuff, and then it tells you what everything means here in the actual menus. It tells you what all of it means, all it does, but it doesn't tell you this is how you do your first level. This is how you do your first print. A lot of companies come with a little 3-4 pages that tell you how to run your first print, how to level the bed, things like that. It doesn't take long, and it's an extra, 2 sheets of paper. It should be a no-brainer. Should be. Well, John, if you just hop on, thinking now about your gear in there, just hop on Ally and buy another one for a couple bucks. It should be better than that. Pull this back here so that I can more easily show the print once it comes off. Any second now. I ended up putting a MKS Gen S Gen L V1 in mine. Oh, Dragon Lab's on its way. Good. There it is. All done. Great, finished. Okay. Skirt. All right, let's take a look at this print. What do we say here, huh? Let me get my arm here fixed better. I can see what we're doing. Let me bring this up on the big screen. And stand right here. It should focus, maybe. Turn down my exposure a little bit. You can see that. There we go. Okay, so here is the first benchy. You can definitely see the extrusion points or the retraction points on there. But the bow looks great. Look at that. Ample cooling. First layer. Looks good. Looks shiny there. But you can definitely see up here, there's definitely some extrusion that I did not get proper. Because again, I just guessed at it. But that window there looks great. Here and there, you can see a little bit of stringing in there. This could just be the filament in here. everything is solid, so it's not wobbling. But there's no ghosting. That's also really nice to see. There's no ghosting here at all. Maybe just a hair, but like, it looks great there. Smokestack looks perfect. Really does there. Yeah, it filled everything in nicely. Oh, thank you, Gunner. But yeah, so I think for my first sliced file with this thing, not bad. You know, I'm definitely going to take what I see here, make some changes in my Simplify 3D profile, and then start it up again. Again, I'll get this working on Simplify 3D, and then may or may not, probably will switch over to Push Slicer at some point. Use the Ender 3 as a base for that, and then start tuning there. But I prefer to start with Simplify 3D, as I know that the best. It's easiest for me to tune. Kind of go from there. So yeah, it's pretty good success. Some of the walls look great though. It definitely sees once I get that retraction dialed in, it definitely will be really good. And it's funny, it looks so much worse honestly on the camera, but like looking at it, you can't really see a lot of those details that the camera kind of picks up on, except for that retraction there. So yeah, anyway, it works. Honestly, pretty surprised out of the gun at how this machine worked. They do have the extruder fan on set up to probably E1, so it turns off whenever the nozzle gets cool enough. Another good feature. Yeah. Oh, let's do one last test here. We're going to open at the bottom and let's see if thermal runaway is enabled. That's the one thing I do want to check on here. So we're just going to tilt this guy up and go ahead and undo these. Too big. Half dozen bolts under here. I guess I don't even oh, I want to check the safety in here. That's what I do. I want to check that. I was going to say, I don't have to do that because the connection for the thermistor is on the back of right by the extruder motor. We do want to check safety features down in here first. Hold this down. And let's have a gander here. Zoom out a little bit here. Let's brighten everything up. What is that? Oh, look at this. This is a Meanwell power supply. It is an LRS 350/24. So it's a thin, legitimate Meanwell power supply. That is excellent. We've got all crimped connections up here on the actual power supply itself. They did double crimp some of them. Not a huge fan of that, but that is just the power going into their custom board that are double crimped. I personally, again, don't like that. We have crimped and, can you see that up in here? Right here. So we do have crimped and insulated for your mains power coming in. That's great to see. I'm not seeing any hot glue anywhere, so that's a big positive on the board. Looking through there. There is a Z2M port on here. So you could theoretically do a second Z and run it right there off of there, because this is Z1M and Z2M. That's cool. Y motor and X motor are right there together. P1 and P2 for their screen. Screen seems to be, it's a custom screen as well as custom board. LCD 28 ET4 version 1. So this is a STM 32F407, so it is a 32-bit board. That's cool. But I'm not seeing any, because these are all connectors, there's no actual turn down terminals. So there doesn't look like there's any type of soldering going on, which is good. Everything's got nice heat sinks on them as well, which is good to see. And then down here is that fan I was talking about. Right here is a little 40mm fan that runs up to this fan port here. So it runs straight off that 24-volt power supply. And that is exhausting air. So it's pulling air down through the enclosure like that. So, all right. Well, everything looks excellent, to be honest. Really, really does. And there is space behind this power supply as well to kind of bring it up off, which is also really good. I'm not going to shock myself. I'm fine. It's a couple volts. Dealing with a 120 volts and a 12-volt system is nothing. I would recommend other people do it, but for me, it's really nothing. So I'm going to seal this back up, and then we'll disconnect the thermistor from the PCB up there instead of doing it from underneath. Because it really can't, because it goes through that ribbon cable. That's kind of the custom there, so I have to disconnect it from outside. It's a couple volts, and there's like 0 amperage going on right now because everything is off. It's not printing. Now, if this was printing and you stuck your hand in there, you're going to get bit hard because you're going to have upwards of 10 to 15 amps roughly going through that power supply or being pulled from that power supply. Right now, the amp draw is like literally less than half an amp, I'd say, if that. It's probably milliamps. But yeah, don't do what I do when I look at these things. If it was 480 volts that I'm used to, that's a different story. That's how you get yourself hurt. All right, let's go ahead and we're just going to do preheat, and we're going to preheat the nozzle and heat a bed, and we'll let that start to heat up, and then I'll pull the thermistor for that and see how it goes. "110 volts is nothing, John." It is really nothing, man. And again, it's not printing. It's not pulling any power, really. It's not pulling any amperage. John, it doesn't look like the case is grounded, but again, it's not anything that I check. If the power supply is properly grounded, the power supply is bolted to the chassis. So being that it's a Meanwell power supply, that's going to have proper grounding. And then because it's bolted to the chassis, the ground is to the case of the power supply. It should all be grounded there. But no, I don't ever really check that. All right, let's pull the thermistor off, which should be the white one. Is that what it is in there? Should be the white wires. Yeah, if I can get to it. Okay, thermistor is out. And it cut off the hot end. Yep, the hot end is off now. Show you guys what that looks like here. So it says 300 and 0 as soon as I unplugged it. So it doesn't throw a warning at you like printers will say thermal runaway detected, but yeah. Plug it back in. It's definitely off because it's cooling down, going down 140, 139, 138. Yeah. So definitely cut the power straight away. That's good to see. And the bed, I didn't check the bed, but if it's enabled for one, it's enabled for both. So that's good. We can go ahead and stop this and power it off for now. It did also save the Z offset that I had set because of the probe. It did save that between that power outage. Also good to see. So I do like that. Let's see here. Not unless metal contacts it, Chris. And again, you'd also have to bridge. Like if you just touch one side of it, you're fine. If you bridged it, you might get shocked. But either way, going through you're not that conductive. It's not going to affect anything there. Now, if I had a screwdriver in there and I'm poking through and I go from positive to negative anywhere in there, I'm going to fry everything in there. That's just common knowledge once you bridge those two together. But either way, again, this is not a safety tutorial. Don't do what I do. I don't tell anybody to open these up either. There is a void warranty sticker on the bottom of this either way, but at least we know it's using a genuine mean well power supply. Great. It is using the crimped connectors. Great. There are no ferrules in there because there is no actual clamped down terminals. Great. Everything has its own plug that has to go in there. It is a proprietary board, so if something goes wrong, you will have to splice into those cable harnesses, which is going to suck. But at least they're only using a proprietary connector from the PCB down to the board where everything modularly plugs into this power board. So your extruder motor, your end stops, your Z probe, the filament sensor, all of that is standard components that just plug right into that board. Great. So if you were to lose one of those, it's not like you have to run a whole new wire. We talked about G-Tech before. G-Tech does that. You have to run a whole new wire, try to figure out where to splice it in at. Nope, you can do it right there. That's good news. Same thing with the Z motor. Just has a standard six-pin plug that goes right into your motor. Easy day. So yeah, overall, it's a safe machine. It prints halfway decent. Once I get a tuned profile, I might switch out the filament and actually run the dog now that it takes longer, just to see their stock prints, how that comes out. I'll just throw some other filament on here and let it run, or let this, maybe I'll just run that till it runs out, because that's what filament end stop is, filament detection is for, to be able to use up those last little bits of filament that you have laying around. It's great to be able to have that. So I'm going to call that tonight, guys. That was a good long stream, 3 hours there. But we know how the printer was, easy to put together. We'll go from there. I'll be printing with this for the next few weeks, and then you'll see a review video probably sometime, probably be after Christmas time, I guess, unless I decide to really haul butt on this and get a review video out earlier than that. But either way, it'll be about a month. You'll see a video come out on here. Yeah, but yeah, absolutely what Chris just said. Anet is absolutely moving in the right direction. This is definitely what I wanted to see from them. And if they're going to continue to make machines like this, again, depending on how my tuning goes, they're going to knock Creality out of the park here. And I think that's really what they're pushing to do. And I commend them for the work that they have been doing thus far. So, but again, we'll get some testing now and see how this goes. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please give it a like if you did. If you want to see more of this content, let me know down below. Or if you want to see me print anything specifically on this printer, or if you're curious about it, leave some comments down below. If you guys want to support the stream, make sure that you check out the Patreon link down below. Patrons really help the channel grow. All the money I get from Patreon helps buy projects. It helps me upgrade different things, helps me buy upgrades for things. So I appreciate all the patrons that help out with that. Other ways you can help out, there's some one-time donation links down there. There's also a bunch of affiliate links down there with some coupon codes. Black Friday, Christmas is coming up. You need to pick up something for your special somebody. Check out those links down below, or if you just use them on your daily shopping, I greatly appreciate it, because all the money I make from those links, I put right back here in the channel, try to make it better for you guys. have better content for you to view. I thank you all for tuning in tonight. Stay safe, wash your hands, happy printing. I'll see y'all next time.